Coming in at just 3,800 pounds, beautifully appointed, quality build, nice bright interior, plus bunks in the back for the family. Folks, this right here is the 2021 Winnebago Micro Minnie 1800BH. So as I said, folks, this one comes in at 3,800 pounds. You have about 1,200 pound cargo carrying capacity, putting the GVWR, this one, right at that 5,000 pound mark. So it's perfect, right? And they built that intentionally because they know that the 5,000 pound range is what a lot of your like mid-sized, a little bit larger SUVs are at. So if you're looking for a family model, you have that 5,000 pound tow capacity, this is definitely one you want to pay attention to. Winnebago does a great job when it comes to build, when it comes to construction. They use a lot of things in here that I really like. We'll hit on some of those inside as well as some of them outside. But like most of my reviews, I want to start out on the kitchen, and for a couple different reasons here. But when we talk about, again, kind of build, I think they did a really good job here in the kitchen. Even though it's a smaller camper, you get huge countertop space. You have prep space right over here to the side, plus this little countertop extension. And, you know, it's not going to be a ton, but it's enough. You can put a plate over to the side if you have to. You have an electrical outlet right there if you want to put a coffee maker or something here. Wireless charging, so you can just, you know, take your phone, put it right there, and boom, there it goes. You know, charges up nice and easy. And then, again, just good countertop space all the way throughout. It's upgraded countertop. It's a thermofoil, so because of that, it allows the sink to be undermounted, which is a much cleaner look. You don't have that rim from the sink that gets all dirty. You can just sweep all the crumbs and everything down in there. And it allows for flush mount cover, so you can use that as prep space. A lot of times, right, I'll just keep one side on, right? You can go just like this. So I still have sink access, but now I have all this as prep space as well, or vice versa. You know, if you want a little more space over here because you're using this as your main prep space, now you have all this. So I do like the split sink top covers rather than one single one, and I love the countertop and the undermount sink. You'll see the window there helped let in some natural light, of course, plus LED light right underneath to help brighten things up. You also have a light with the fan. It is a little bit brighter than a lot of some of the other ones. You can see, whoops, turn the fan on. You can see that right there. It's actually, it lights up the area, which is what you want. Recessed cooktop, you'll see the glass cover on this one as well. So if you're not using the cooktop, you can of course use that as prep too, and flips up and back just like so, opening up the 3 burners. This one is Suburban brand. In lieu of an oven, they went with storage. Now what you'll see is they kind of had to. And at first you may be thinking, well, you know, why couldn't they put an oven here and storage down here? Well, I'll show you. As you'd expect, you have storage right there. Great for pots and pans, nice and big. But this is actually a false drawer because instead it is access to your fuse panel. Now, I love that they finished it off. I think it gives it a much more complete and higher end look, but that is why they had to sacrifice your oven down here, was for that. And then, you know, if we take a look up top now, because you don't have an oven, as you'd expect, they did go with a convection microwave. So if you do still want to do some baking, you still can here in that convection. I personally like convection. It cooks nice and quick. It's a lot easier to clean than a standard oven, right? And again, it gives you that extra storage space, that space savings. Hood right underneath, as we said, good light on there, and obviously the fan. Storage right up top. You have some decent sized storage there. And I like the pulls they use as well, right? They're nice and big. They're easy to operate. And again, it kind of keeps like that clean, almost modern European look to the design of the cabinets. Multimedia center right over to this side. You can see the different zones on here for those speakers, plus the DVD player. Your TV is right there. Certainly not a monster TV by any stretch. So, you know, if you're RVing for a TV, this one may not suit your needs. You can swap it out if you want, but you know, just know that it does come with one, and the mount that it's on is pretty cool because you can pop that off, actually take it outside, and you can have that same TV outside. Again, not the biggest TV ever, but it does work in a pinch, especially if you want to throw on a movie or something for the kiddos. Making our way back a little bit further, fridge, freezer combo. It has kind of that stainless steel looking panel fronts. This one does run off both propane and electric. Directly underneath that is your direct vent furnace, and in an RV this size, that's definitely all you need. Keep things nice and toasty. Now for the AC, they actually went with a ducted AC, and I do like that from the standpoint that you have bunks right back here, and they tend to get a little bit warmer. So, you know, you have this duct, and you can kind of turn it, right, and direct it so that way it's blowing into this top bunk, helping keep whoever is up here a little bit cooler. So I do like that AC unit, but again, that AC will do a great job keeping everything cool, and your thermostat is right down there, both hot and, that controls both the AC and the furnace. Making our way to the back. Not a huge bathroom. You have your toilet right here. As far as space, though, I do have plenty of space to be able to use the toilet. An actual towel bar, I do prefer that over just like a little robe hook, right? I think it holds a towel better. What you will notice is because of the size of the bathroom, there is not a sink in here. So if that is an absolute deal breaker for you, then this floor plan won't work. But for the trade-offs, again, you get huge, kitchen space there. You still have the bunks over to the side. You're just going to have to do a little bit in the kitchen sink, right? Brush your teeth, wash your hands, things like that. Stepping into the shower, with the skylight, you will see I am 6 foot tall. I can fully stand up in here. I have to stand under the skylight or else it's not going to work. But if I stand right here, you will see that this, kind of bows out a little bit. So you do get a little more room to be able to turn to the side, which is nice. Then I can take the hand wand, do everything I need to do. If you're much taller, you probably are going to have to duck down. If you're, 6'1", 6'2", definitely going to have to duck down in there. But at 6 foot, it works pretty darn good. You'll see right back here are your bunks, 250-pound weight capacity, grab handle here to help somebody climb up and into the top. USB ports, that's a big one. I personally really like that, so that way, if the kids need to charge cell phones or watch, play on tablets or something on a rainy day, gives them a space to do that. Of course, you have a light both top and bottom. This one has a door. I'll show you that when we go around the back. Excellent storage system. Again, USB port there, and you have access to storage underneath. The reason I like this is because, you may use this to carry some of your bigger items like totes, bikes, grills, big chairs, things like that. But a lot of those you're going to take out when you get there, but you still have access to the storage. So if you have some smaller items you want to leave in here underneath the bed, you can still get to those from inside, which, again, I really enjoy. Then moving in a little bit further here, we get some extra storage. Versatile storage. I like this. If you want to hang clothes, you have a spot to put some hangers. You have a removable shelf, so you can hang clothes in here. If you just want folded clothes, you can do that. If you want to use it as pantry, you can do that. The options are limitless. It does give you a lot of options, though, which are pretty cool. Storage all the way across the top. What do I love about this? Well, it is easy one-hand operation, right? They use some high-end hinges here. You can see that they are hidden hinges, and so that way it just stays open. You don't have to hold it open with one hand while trying to access everything up here. So I do like that. Again, it's just showing kind of the quality components they're putting in here. One of the things I do want to touch on while we're talking about that is the door. I always talk about this in every Winnebago because as minor as it may seem, it's a huge deal to me, folks. Look at that. The door, it shuts. It's solid. It doesn't wiggle. It doesn't pop open. Some manufacturers don't actually frame out the door in wood like this. They'll use like a plastic that goes all the way around, especially in a lower price point, right? In this price point, you're definitely going to have a little bit better quality of build, but just know that this door actually works the way it's supposed to. So I really do appreciate that, again, about the build. Big window here above the dinette lets in some natural light. The dinette does drop down into a bed. And again, we talk about a little bit nicer components. This is a dream style dinette. So what you'll do is you'll lift up the bottom cushions. And if you want to drop this down into a bed, there's this little lever. Let go of it just like that, and this will push down just like that, right? Pushes all the way down, put the cushions on top, and that gives you your bed space. When you're done, you just take that lever, lock it back into place, you're good to go. Underneath, you have some swing out door here for storage. I would get a tote to put in there rather than having to get down your hands and knees to access that. We do sell several different totes at the Camping World store, so if you're looking for sizes, I do recommend trying there first. We have some like the plastic ones with covers on them, as well as just some open totes, but you can toss them right down in there. Last thing I want to hit on is the bed. So again, this is a lot of times a make it or break it for people, right? In the industry, it's what we call an east to west bed, right? Rather than north to south, meaning it goes crosswise across the camper. The pros to this, right, is that it doesn't take up as much space in the camper. So you can get this big kitchen, the bunks, you can get this great layout right here. Because the bed is going, again, across the camper. The downside to it is the fact that, one, it's a little bit harder to make the bed because, it's touching a wall almost all the way around, right, except for right here. So the bed's a little bit tougher to make, and whoever sleeps on the furthest side will have to crawl over the other person if they have to get up and use the bathroom or anything else. So that's kind of the downside here. But again, what you get is this big, huge floor plan in its place. You'll also see this. And this is access to basically your pass-through storage. We'll see that when we go outside, but huge access right there, allows you to easily get to some of those items. Storage all the way across the top, and just like we had above the dinette, again, you have those really nice hidden hinges, LED lights underneath, windows on both sides, electrical outlet and USB port, plus this little net, so you have a place to put your cell phone when you're charging it. Vent up top, and lastly, you do get a privacy curtain if you want to close that off. Now that we've seen the insides, take a look at some of the outside features on the 2021 Winnebago Micro Minnie 1800BH. Right up front is a power tongue jack, making it nice and easy to connect and disconnect from your tow vehicle because, well, you don't have to wear your arm doing it, right? You just flip a switch to extend or retract your tongue jack, basically lift it up and down. And you have a light right outside here for added visibility at night, plus manual override in the rare event that motor does fail. Right behind that are two 20-pound propane tanks, but you'll see they do give you a 30-pound cover. So in the event that you want to upgrade into bigger tanks to have a little bit more propane, again, if you're doing some of that, extended season camping, having that bigger cover is already there for you. So you just buy the tanks, you are good to go. Right behind that are rails for your battery, as well as the diamond plating coming up the front, helping protect that front end from rocks and debris that may get thrown up by your tow vehicle. Right above that is the really nice looking 3/4 front cap. If we take a look down at the frame, you will see this one is a BAL frame, the NXG frame by BAL, which is a Norco product anyway. Not to get too far in the weeds, right? A couple different parent companies there. But with the NXG frame, one of the things I really do like about it is the fact that it is a huck bolt frame. So if we take a look right over here, you can see these huck bolts, right? That's what we have here instead of a weld. The great thing about huck bolts is, one, is if the RV ever does get damaged, it is easier to repair the RV because you can just cut those huck bolts, take out the damaged section, replace it with a new section. The other nice thing about it is studies have shown that the first place for rust to start on a frame is right at a weld seam. So by eliminating that weld seam, hopefully you reduce the chance for rust to start on your frame. If we take a look at the pass-through, we kind of saw a glimpse of it inside, but you'll notice they put an aluminum bar across here for support. I really do like that. But look at the size of this pass-through, folks. This is massive pass-through on a camper this size. I really enjoy that. A lot of times you have these smaller, a little bit smaller RVs. Again, 3,800 pounds, right? You don't expect a ton of storage, but this one, they did a great job of it. You have an LED light in here, and if you can come on in here, Aaron, you will see the solar controller, right? So it already has solar on board. You have a solar panel right up top, so you can see the solar controller right there in the corner to help make sure that everything is running the way it should, and that way you can see exactly what your solar is bringing in, as well as what your batteries are currently at. You can see here, nice slam latch door, so it has a covered hinge, so it doesn't have a bunch of rust coming down your door. It also is a nice catch here. It uses metal components, plus it is a magnetic catch for putting the door up, which I enjoy. Power stabilizer jacks, those are your controls. One will, these ones are individual, right? That's one of the things about having that NXG frame. So with these ones, you have one on each corner, and each one will operate that jack individually. Now, please bear in mind, folks, that is not auto level, right? You don't want to use those to level it out. You still want to use blocks underneath your giant wheels to level these out. But it is great having that power stabilizer jack, and having individual controls does give you a lot more control. Getting into the RV, you have two fold-out steps. They are aluminum, so they won't rust. Plus, they have the grip tape on there and a foldable grab handle, so that way you get a little more control when entering or exiting the RV. Window built into the door to let in some extra light. 12-volt power awning with an LED light strip on there. A couple outside speakers. And when we talk about construction, behind this fiberglass, folks, is Azdel composite rather than Luan. Azdel has a few big advantages. One, it's lighter weight, which is how one of the ways they get this to that lower weight, right? That 3,800 pounds dry. The other part of it is that it won't absorb moisture, which almost completely eliminates the chance for delamination, which are the big bubbles you see in the exterior, which is not something you want. And thirdly, is that it is a green material, so you don't get any off-gassing, any formaldehyde, anything like that inside the camper. So if you're sensitive to those, you will be good with the Azdel. You can see right here, if you want a TV outside, they did put a backer in the wall, so you know where you can mount that TV. The connections for it will be right down there. You will see your fresh tank fill located here, as well as a black tank flush to wash out your black tank right behind that. And if we drop down, you can see this one has nice aggressive tires on there, right? So you have 15-inch tires, a little bit bigger wheels on there, nice aggressive lugs too. So if you're doing a little bit of off-roading, this one will handle it a lot better than most. Plus, it has higher ground clearance. So again, if you're on some little bit more uneven terrain, this one will be able to handle it better than a lot of the other travel trailers out on the market. Right in the back is your square tubular bumper with end caps. You have a convenient spot to store your sewer hose. Plus, you will see your spare tires mounted to that with a cover, help protect the tire, and it's very easy to access. You know, in the event that you do have a blowout or you get a flat, something like that. This is, again, probably the easiest place to access that spare. Outside shower with hot and cold water access right back here. Rear mounted ladder so you can climb up onto the fully walkable roof. You also see backup camera prep. So if you want backup camera, having that prep does make it a lot easier to install, meaning it'll save you money on labor. Coming around to the off-camp side, satellite and cable inlets right here, 30 amp detachable power cord plugs in there. Your fresh tank fill will be located here. Sorry, that's gonna be city. Fresh tank was on the other side. So city water will be located right there. And then right over on this side, this will be your, that storage area I told you with the bunks, right? So this flips up, locks into place, and you can see right here, you get all this additional storage for some of those larger items. I absolutely love when manufacturers do this, just because, you know, again, it gives you more storage. And most of them, even though if they have this, you won't have near that size pass-through. So again, if you're looking for a lighter weight camper, great pass-through storage, or great outside storage space, this 1800BH does an excellent job. One more thing I want to talk about is the ability to camp in colder weather. You will see this one has a fully enclosed, insulated, and heated underbelly, and you'll notice how your valves go through the frame. The reason for that is because that way your valves are insulated too. So if you are camping in colder weather, not only will your tanks and lines not freeze up on you, but your valves won't either. So you won't get what the industry terms as a poopsicle, where you basically have a bunch of frozen solid in your termination line, because that is definitely not something we want. Let's see if this one's unlocked. Yeah, so just to kind of show you the size of that pass-through, folks, one more time. As I said, that is just huge pass-through storage. I also do want to point out battery disconnect on the far side. You can see the solar controller there, plus the battery disconnect, so if you need to kill power, you are good to go. Folks, once again, this is the 2021 Winnebago Micro Minnie 1800BH. It's a wonderful, lightweight family camper. If you are looking for price and availability, simply click on the link in the description. Thanks again for watching. I'm Ian Baker, and let's go camping.